French President Emmanuel Macron is in hot water again, can't seem to keep a prime minister, and France is buried in debt. Let's look at an updated Bazi Chinese astrology of what is happening with France and also with President Macron at this now time. So welcome, my name is Lydia Griffith, and this is Fire Horse Wisdom. Often I like to cover the astrology, the Bazi Chinese astrology of famous people and even countries, because I think it helps us to better understand our own lives and our own charts, our own astrology. So welcome. If this sparks interest for you, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell so you don't miss a single video. So welcome. Very interesting situation that's been going on. Like no other time, I think, in history have they had so many prime ministers in France. I think the latest one didn't even last a month. So there's a mess. It just looks like a mess. And when you look at the astrology of France and when you look at the astrology of President Macron, you can see what is going on and whether or not the president is going to be able to stay in power. There is a loud call for him to step down. So let's look at Emmanuel Macron's 4 pillars Bazi astrology. He is born in the year of a yin fire snake, the month of yang water rat, and the day of yang water rat, with an hour of yin wood snake. Very interesting, steamy kind of a chart. 2 pillars in the middle of the rat, which is yin water. So it's kind of like this pool of water, very yin water, so with like a bonfire on either side of it. Gives me the feeling of like a pot that is simmering, right? Simmering with water and very alchemically, again, steamy. Brings out the passion in a person, the emotion as well. Now, when we look at this year, 2025, that's a yin wood snake, this is hitting his year of the snake, which is giving him this impetus of movement. It can be literal movement as far as like travel or moving his home, moving in and out of a position, certainly work related, because why? He's born in the hour of the snake. And actually his hour is the mirror of this year. So it is a direct confrontation for him. That being said, just sticking with where he is at this now time, President Macron, when you look at this next year, the year of the horse is the enemy of the rat. Guarantee that by the time we reach the Lunar New Year of 2026, that would be February, he will be out of power. Mark my words, I'm telling you, because it's a double whammy for him. This year, speaking of his hour, is very much a direct competition and agitation, just like with President Trump in the United States, also born in the hour of the snake. It is a direct challenge to their power and position. Then to move into the year of the horse directly, personally attacking his day of the rat. Done. That's what I'm going to tell you now. Done. Now, we put that aside and we look at what's going on with France. Well, France is interesting. I feel like we've had a situation like this in a recent reading. Born, I believe this might have been Jane Goodall, but the year of the dog for France, very much about justice and equality and fairness, and the day of a dragon, which is very ethereal and innovative leader, very bold leadership that again is very creative and unusual, and going into directions that are progressive or just innovative again. So you've got these two pillars, year and day, that are in opposition with each other. It's a country that will forever have internal conflict. And sometimes that conflict can be a great thing because it can agitate you into action. And really, for the French people specifically, it's very much about activating. It's almost like a direct hit that opens up the family. It opens up the home. It opens up career opportunity, the family, what we're responsible for. And it's also about the mother and the divine feminine, the divine goddess. So there's a lot of femininity with the persona of the French people. And there is also, again, this element of government, justice, fairness, equality. Very interesting. So they've already got that kind of conflict happening. So you add to that what is going on this year of the snake, right? And this year, the yin wood is very much opening up for them this shift in government and a very big, heavy influence, if you will, of the government and what's happening within the government directly impacting the people of France. And that being said, the snake itself, because the day pillar for France is a yang fire dragon, you have this year of the snake is very much about who are the French people? How do they identify with themselves? Who are their allies? Who is their support? And again, you've got this overreach of government coming down on top of them. It reminds me a little of what's happening in the United States. There is almost it's in rhythm and it's in harmony because it's yin wood sitting on top of yang fire. So there is a harmony here. But it is also kind of like a mother's influence. And that can be gentle or it can be too much. Now, for the French, the Bazi astrology of France, they're actually a weak country because so much of their chart is heavy with metal. And they are yang fire, but they have next to no wood nourishing them. So this year is actually very good for them. They're that influence of help and support. But just like the influence of a mother, that can be very healthy or it can be kind of toxic, depending on how it arrives and is received. France is buried in debt right now. And Emmanuel Macron is being held to blame for it. It's a very interesting dynamic happening. In addition, the snake is also bringing up and this is collective astrology that we have to remember. There is a movement to action this year for the French people. There is also this this patriarchal energy that does have with it available funds. Now, where does that funding come from? And how do the French people benefit from that? That's an interesting thing. But I am seeing the mother on top, the father hidden within. There is an authority that is inside of this year that wants to rise up and take action. but that divine feminine, the government itself coming down is there's a whole lot going on that is very deeply personal to France and the French people. Whereas, for instance, the United States, the things that are happening here are affecting people globally. Okay. So, this is a quick video because I think that this is a simple message. The French people are going through their own understanding of what it means to be themselves, to be French, to be in this country, right? And the president is embattled, and it's going to get very, again, personal to him next year. And I think by the time we reach February, he will be out of office. We'll see how it goes. Your questions and comments are always welcome. Please keep them respectful and kind. I have no opinion when I give these Bazi readings about politics and war and current events. I'm just delivering the astrology. So thank you again. And until next time, please be well.